Hello everybody, Kip Teitsort here with Chronicles of a Culture Changer from DT4EMS. And on this block, I want to reiterate something we've said before because it has come up again, and that is how important is great customer service as a self-defense tactic? Well, we believe, and it's been my experience and what we share with people across the country, is that great customer service in emergency medicine is the best, absolute, hands down scene safety tactic. And here's why. It will protect you in the media, it will protect you in the courts, and it will definitely protect you on the street. So having the mindset to treat people better than you would expect to be treated is what will keep us out of trouble. And let me explain and let me show you that there's some proof in this. So let's say, for instance, and this is a real incident, that a person is erroneously stopped by law enforcement. And let's say this person is yelled at to get out of their vehicle, put on the ground on hot pavement, put in handcuffs, and then ultimately found out that the police officers then find out, uh-oh, we've got the wrong person. Well, if you're an average person and you have that done and people see you, maybe your kids were present, your family's present, whatever's going on, but people have just watched you be treated like a criminal and you weren't. Well, there could be two possible endings to this. Number one, the police officers pack up and they leave and they don't say anything, and so you've been embarrassed, you've been treated, don't you feel, and mistreated, and the police officers say nothing. On the other hand, another ending would be the police officers turn around and say, you know what, we're sorry, your van matched the exact description of a van that was just seen robbing a store, and we really apologize for this, but we just did what we did because we needed to keep ourselves safe because we have families. So I'm not asking that police officers hold people's hands, but if you notice, there's a lot of work going back, winning hearts and minds. That's why you see all these videos out there with police officers playing basketball with kids or dancing with kids or doing something. This is important. So great customer service can help us, because if you think about it in medicine, people don't complain about the medical treatment they received. They complain about how they were treated. So let's talk about how this translates into medicine. When we show up on a scene, one of the things that we have to combat, especially when our uniforms are looking like law enforcement, and one of the places where I was just at, even some of the providers themselves are getting frustrated because when they ask for armor, body armor, they're issued these tack-looking vests that make them look like a SWAT officer when they arrive on a scene. They make them look like a police officer when we're trying to say, look, we need to win our neutrality back, meaning one of the ways that we do that is by stop acting like police officers that we're taking custody of people. We start trying to offer great customer service. So let me put it this way. So back up to the officer story. If that person leaves and that was the only contact they've ever had with a police officer, they're left with one of two things. Either A, those police officers have a dangerous job. I understand and I respect what they were doing. I don't appreciate what they did to me, but I understand. The second way that they're left with, if the police officer doesn't take a couple of extra moments in time to be kind about it and say, look, I'm sorry, wrong vehicle, whatever. If they don't take that time, then the person is left with, that's how all police officers are, that they're rude, they're disrespectful, so on and so forth, which is not the case. Same in EMS or ED setting. Let's say, for instance, you have to use force to defend yourself and you're going to court. If you go to court on this and there's a person in the jury that has only had one experience with healthcare in an emergency setting, meaning that the person in healthcare treated them with disrespect, treated them with rude, treated them like, I can't believe you're wasting my time, and they argued with him, whatever it may have been, then that person, their only perception of all of pre-hospital or fire ED staff is that they're all jerks. So then if you showed up at court, you're having to go against what this person already has a preconceived notion is that everyone is a jerk. So what I'm sharing with you is that I'm asking you to be kind, not necessarily because it's only just for you. Maybe it will keep you out of trouble right there at that moment, but you're setting the stage for all of those that are around you and all of us across the country in emergency medicine. If you are that kind of person that brags about how many times you use force in emergency medicine, please get out of emergency medicine. You are making it harder for the rest of us, because what I'm trying to say is this: great customer service, getting us back to what we got into the business for, which was treating people with respect. And I realize, guys, you're tired, You're exhausted. You're running however many calls it is in the shift, and yet we know that a majority of the calls that we respond to don't really require an ambulance, but we go anyway because it's by policy. But we created this monster, so it's like, just be nice. And great customer service is the absolute fantastic best self-defense advice I can give you for the emergency room, the ED setting, the fire rescue personnel on an EMS scene, and for EMS providers. And if you don't believe me, just check with your friends and what they put on social media about anything. And it's always going to be related to their perspective on something. It's always going to be based upon their experience. So the more that we're kind with people, the less they're going to want to punch us in the mouth. And guys, I'm Kip Teitsort, and this is Chronicles of a Culture Changer, trying to get us back to neutrality. I'll see you soon.